St. Helena Bay is 'n baie rustige plek. Is 'n vissersgemeenskap. Ek woon my hele lewe lank hier. Hier is nie eintlik ook anderlike werkie. Is net so hier en daar wat iemand miskien by die hotel werk of maintenance werk doen of as 'n kennerin of kenner, maar almal is eintlik afhanklik van Lucky Star. Omdat ons 'n vissersgemeenskap is, het ons geglo as ons uit die skool uit gaan, dan gaan ons fabriek toe.
The communities, especially on the West Coast, are close to our heart because that's where Oceana started. In 1918, in Lambert's Bay, in the lobster factory, we've adopted this philosophy that we're not just here to add value to our investors, we're also here to make a positive impact in the communities that we operate. Oceana is the largest fishing company in Africa. We distribute fish and fish protein products to consumers in over 46 countries in the world. We're home-based in Cape Town, so we're proudly South African. We're the home of the famous Lucky Star brand.
Ik werk nu al 38 jaar voor Oceana. Van visbakker af, totdat ik nou quality controle is. Ik heb die hele maatschappij, heb ik nu al die gewerkt.
We are using water in almost all of these operations. And if we don't have the steam, then it means we don't have production.
With the Western Cape, as you know, facing a drought crisis, we realized that if the taps turn off, well, then we're going to have to shut down those plants. 3,000 jobs would have been lost because we would have had to close down our facilities.
As die fabriek moet toemaak, sal er nergens werk wees nie. Dan sou ons 'n spookdorpie geraak het.
The drought was going to be a huge business risk. It was going to come with a huge financial impact in terms of our operations and our sustainability. But more important was that our employees and their families, they were going to run out of water. We needed to come up with something to be self-sufficient and be able to keep this plant running and be sustainable. One of advantage was we have water just next to us. We then started to draw the water from the sea to the desalination plant. By us producing the amount of water of which we are 80% of the grid, that means that water that we would have used from the municipality, we don't take anymore. So the benefits are way beyond what just operation for this project.
Currently, the pilchard resource in South Africa is at a cyclical low. We have partner canneries in Asia, and so we did have an alternative, which was to send all of that fish to Asia to can. So the consumer in South Africa would not have been affected, but our employees and the communities on the West Coast would have. We made, again, a conscious decision to keep our factories going in South Africa, and we've brought into South African production more and more of the fish that we catch elsewhere in the world. In so doing, not only have we retained the jobs, but we've increased labor hours and the contribution to those communities by double. So the cannery used to run 2 to 2.5 days a week. Now it runs 4 to 5 days a week.
Hulle probeer redig om vir ons werk te skep, sodat ons kan aangaan, sodat ons gemeenskap nie moet verarm nie. Ons kan nie laat dit toemaak nie. En dit is al wat ons het.
The Oceana Group, through its brand, has a significant presence in the South African economy. From an operations point of view, over 3,500 of our people are in over 18 sites in South Africa and predominantly on the West Coast. We have 6 factories and then 12 cold storage facilities. It's imperative that companies like ourselves play an active role in the continued transformation of our society. So the continued flow of economic benefit into the hands of previously disadvantaged must be paramount to what we do.
The Oceana Empowerment Trust was formed in 2006. They said that we would like to offer our Black employees across the group participatory rights in this trust, and each participatory right equated to a share in Oceana. The intention there was to redress some of the economic inequalities in the country.
I'm working at CCS Logistics. I'm operation clerk. I'm living in Guguletu. I have 2 children and my husband, and we live on this shack. That was very difficult. There's one thing I think that time, to buy house, to get out of that shack.
The trust represents about 2,500 black beneficiaries. It owns 10% in Oceana Group, and that equates to about 13 million shares. And it makes it the biggest black-owned, black-controlled fishing company really in South Africa.
I hear in the newspapers, the shares, what is shares? When you have shares, you're gonna have money, and that money is looking like a money you hide. You have money, but you don't use that money.
The trust had done so well that we wanted to give back to our beneficiaries earlier than the end of the lock-in period. So the first early payout took place in 2014.
I was shocked when I see the payslip. Hey, how much is this? Oh my God, splendid numbers. My heart made poof, 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 poof. I told myself, this money is for buying a house. There is only way to get out of this shack. And then I bought this house. I was very excited. I was very happy. Yo, I say, God, you bless me.
Subsequently, we received many wonderful stories from beneficiaries and what they had done with their payout, how to change their lives. And that inspired us to do the competition. They sent letters in, and there was prizes up to 100,000.
I wrote my story, a small story for me. Later on, I get a phone call. Hi, are you Busalam Keni? I say, yes. You won 20,000. You are the third winner. Oh, okay. I say, wow. Yeah? On that 20,000, I bought a fridge, double bed, 4-plate stove, microwave.
In January 2021, the staff who are beneficiaries of this trust will physically receive fully paid for Oceana shares. And on that date, they will have the choice to hold on to the shares and be dividend earners, or to sell the shares on the open market.
We hope at that stage that these shares continue to change lives, not only for the beneficiaries themselves, but for their families, for the next generation.
Even now, I'm still waiting. It's gonna change more and more and more in my life. I think also my children is gonna go to school with that money for.
In the South African context, a responsible and transformed commercial fishing sector is critical to unlocking the economic development that the country needs. Part and parcel of that must be the enhancement of skills, whether it's crew members or artisans or engineers or marine science. These skills are not prevalent, and particularly black skills aren't prevalent in our sector. So we want to make it attractive for individuals to have a meaningful career in the fishing space.
I always had a passion to go to sea. While I was in matric, I wanted to join the Navy, but my application wasn't successful. And then somehow I ended up in the fishing industry, being employed by Oceana.
Our program was called the South Africanization Program, and it was simply to transfer skills from qualified Russians to unemployed South African youth. And our approach was to bring people that had absolutely no skill or background in fishing and gave them the opportunity to work on the Desert Diamond and build up their career at sea.
We brought into our fleet a vessel called the Desert Diamond. The Desert Diamond is South Africa's biggest fishing vessel. That vessel comes from Russia.
I first stepped my foot on the gangway on 12th of April 2004. I just came from school knowing nothing about life, just boarding this vessel, this big ship. When I started off, it was really difficult. I had to pick up some words, Russian words by ear, and I still with the eye and ear, and that's how I learned myself and adapt to the conditions on board the vessel.
The Desert Diamond is a freezer trawler or a factory trawler, so it means we are processing whatever we catch on board into a frozen form, which can go directly to the market. You can't teach a person in a class how to fish. And that had to come from coaching and mentoring on board.
The captain, Anatoly, was a big role model. He was a big mentor in my life. Two of us became like father and son. Every day when I came from duty, I will come up to the bridge, ask him permission to steer the vessel, and then he'll show me how to steer the vessel. He saw I was willing to learn, and he saw that opportunity in me.
So Eugene is a real success story in the South Africanization program. We saw the opportunity that he could develop very quickly. And then, end of last year, we decided with our oldest captain on the brink of retirement, Eugene would be the next captain.
It still hasn't really sunk in. Me being as captain, I'm still the humble guy. I'm still the guy that I was 15 years ago, but more wiser. It was a lifetime. There was a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifices that I have to make, spending time away from my family, but it all paid off at the end of the day. The company gives you opportunity, allowing you to develop your skills as a seafarer. At the end of the day, it's all up to you what you're going to make of it. So honestly, it was an amazing journey up until now, and it's still continuing.
Our vision is more and more to play a significant role in society. We are players in the sustainability space. We understand that we have a role to play in the longevity of the species in which we harvest. We are strong on compliance, whether it's from a regulatory perspective or from the way that we operate. And so we see ourselves continuing to play a significant role in that space while continuing to grow in the global fish and fish protein space.